nothing you're going to really do that's going to throw him off his game a little bit. But jumping in that ban and protect process, you got the Shiva Afterburner Rapid Fire going early. Expect high caliber to go as well. You think Overclock probably goes on Breach?
Would certainly make sense. These guys want to play kind of a standard game. Overclock coming off. We'll see if concussions and possibly tactical or flashbangs come as well. I assume this will be followed then by concussion.
You would assume stuns, concussions to be shortly after, and then accuracy with the last vote. We saw CLG ban the M8 yesterday. Don't know if it makes much sense going up against a team like Rise, who's really good with all of the weapons.
Yeah.
Because then on a map like this, you give them something like the Man of War. They're going to get rid of the MR6. It's a pistol a lot of people have been using lately to their advantage.
Certainly.
You know, the RK5 and the Elcar, two very good sidearms as well. But I feel like that MR6 in the hands of somebody like a Classic or an Octane can really cause some damage.
Well, what do you think about that ban protect? I mean, I've got to think it favors Rise Nation. They didn't do anything to mix it up. They're a tough team to contest against. Is there anything CLG can do to make this more difficult for them?
Anything that makes this more of a gun-on-gun game favors Rise Nation, right? So I think CLG kind of plays right into Rise's strengths. You're going to see a Scythe on both sides, Purifier on both sides, Kinetic and Heatwave for both teams as well. So pretty standard specialist draft there. Don't think anything too special. Nothing really stands out to me. I think the Purifiers, though, definitely going to be effective here on Breach.
Yeah, we've been actually seeing that banned out a little bit in some of the recent game modes. I mean, specifically here on Breach, you got to think about that lab hardpoint. That's one where we really see the Purifier come in, can do some damage. You're going to see those coming in on both sides. We do have a mirror match, like you mentioned, but this is going to be a tough matchup for CLG. You know, they struggled yesterday. It's tough when your bounce back game needs to be, you know, the second one of the week. You're going up against a top 3 team like Rise.
Yeah, if you were CLG, you wanted to play somebody like a TK, like a DT, try and bounce back. I don't want to say get an easy win, but a little bit easier than going up against a top 3 team like Rise. I think this is a very tough matchup for CLG.
It absolutely is. Now, we want to hear from you guys on Twitter. We want your bold predictions for tonight. What's going to be the upset?
What's your bold prediction
What's going to be the
Clint?
shocking match? Use the hashtag CWLPS4. I am taking H2K over FaZe. You know, we talked about it up there. I think that's a bold prediction. Even though you kind of see it being that trap game, I'm taking H2K. Do you have one?
I don't know. I'm trying to think, because obviously, like a bold prediction would be something like, does Envy plays with Havoc tonight, and it goes to 5 games? Don't know what happens.
If Envy beats Optic with you know, kind of the new guy, I think without question that's an upset for me. I mean, it certainly is.
That's what I'm saying.
I know they're both top 2, but I agree that would be a bold prediction.
That would be
a
bold prediction.
Sure.
Yeah. To have that happen. So, Matt, going to be loading in now. It's going to be Breach Hardpoint game number 1, CLG versus Rise Nation. And Maven, for me on this map, the key is going to be that 3rd hardpoint. If you're able to hold that palace for an extended period of time, I think you end up winning this game.
And remember, this is something where we had 1 in 3 switch, right? And that's recently, as of a week or 2 ago. So its importance in the map kind of shifts a little bit, right?
Yeah, and I think it becomes a lot easier to hold as a 3rd hardpoint as opposed to the 1st, right? The 1st, both teams getting in an even spawn, they're running right towards it. I think at this point, if you can hold that palace and spawn people out over by cages, over by bricks, you're able to hold it for an extended period of time.
Yeah, you don't really have the added value of that early rotation, that early setup, but now you do with having it in the 3rd hardpoint. I'm going to kick things off. I'm actually going to switch over to accuracy again, the newcomer here for CLG. Let's see what these guys can do right off the rip. Trophy out, trying to get set up here mid-map as everyone's vying for control.
And you see Felony picking up 2 kills in the kill feed. I was really impressed with him and Perplex yesterday in respawn game modes. Very good with the SMGs, working as a tandem. Excited to see those guys play again today.
I could not agree more. Really looking forward to seeing it. Well, can they hang with Rise Nation, though, is the question. This team has been so dominant. We had Looney on the show last Thursday. Great to hear that guy's thoughts. You can see, you know, what a mastermind he is when it comes to respawn, specifically hardpoint. It was great hearing him talk about Stronghold, how his team likes to operate on that particular map. The kid is so deadly. And I wasn't in last Thursday. I was pretty sick, but I actually kind of I tuned in. I saw a little bit of that segment. He was saying, you know, Classic really determines what they run in the AR SMG setup. And, you know, Classic is feeling an SMG, he runs an SMG, and feels an AR, he's going to pull out the AR and run that. And I think, you know, Classic is a
perfect player who's going to like just be versatile, you know, from hill to hill, like on one like this, right? If Octane's going to be playing in the hill, you know, maybe Classic switches to something like a Man of War, watches the back. Or if they feel like they need more pressure, he's a player who can use either an SMG or an AR and still hang with the top players in that category.
Could not agree more. You saw an early rotation for Rise, Matt, as they got set up here in cage at the second hard point. Looking to lock this down. Nice long-range shots coming in from Octane as he's able to rip one up. Can he get a second? Trying to wall bang. Ultimately going to lose that gunfight to the newcomer Accuracy. Switching pace here a little bit as we go over to Classic. He started off 11-4 on a 3 streak. He's been one of the top players in the game really since the get-go of Black Ops 3, and he's trying to soak up some time here, Matt.
And he's a player who you don't really see his effect like in the scoreboard. There are sometimes we'll be like, oh, you know, Classic, one of the better players in the game, and he'll be like around even, maybe a little bit negative, and you're kind of like, well, why is he such a good player? I mean, you know, has fantastic shot, but I think for me, the key for Classic is really just his movement around the map, always in position to make a play. That's what I love about Classic. A little bit like Karma, where you're kind of watching him and you're like, well, why is he positioned over here? That doesn't really make much sense, right, for the team, but he's always in position to make a big play. You see him going on the outer wall run there, almost able to take out, you know, more than one player, but Classic just has great game instincts. He knows exactly where to be at all times.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, and let's see if he can keep this rally going, because they are getting a big lead now, Matt. They're up 70 points right now. They've hit that 90-point mark, and I'm going to go back to Classic. He's 15-7 now. But let's stay with him through the respawn, see what he's able to do. And on the other side, we talked about Methods, the leader, the guy making the changes here with this roster, struggling a little bit early as he's 3-8 in this one.
And you usually don't see that from him, huh? You know, prior to this team change, him and BL Fire were like statistically their best hardpoint players. Now, Methods a guy who can run an AR and SMG and put up some pretty nice numbers. So shocking to see that. Felony is actually playing quite well. And you know, obviously it's only, what, 4 matches now that we've seen with this change, but you know, I think Felony has played much better since this change than I feel like Accuracy has. So I feel like maybe, you know, the change from BL Fire to Accuracy has helped Felony a little bit more.
Well, you see Octane able to snag one in the back corner, finds one in the left as well. That's 2 in a row and a hardpoint break here for Rise Nation as they're looking to extend this lead, Matt. We'll stay on with Octane for now. He picked up a VMP. He'll have that along with the M8 as he's looking to set up here at bottom glass. Player's going to start pushing in. You can see the silhouettes coming in. The X-ray vision. Felony with the jukes, able to finally win that gunfight. Couple players dropping for either side here. Everyone trying to do battle. The kinetic armor was popped, but the heat wave comes in. Ultimately, he is going to drop, and control going to remain here for Rise Nation, Matt.
Yeah, when Felony jumps down with kinetic armor, that's an almost impossible gunfight for Octane to win with an AR close range. So he's able to get in, break the hill for a short period of time, but you saw Looney come in with the heat wave. He's able to break it pretty easily, and you know, Classic, he's got the Purifier, he got a Scythe on Octane, nobody else with anything on the side of Rise. So I'm going to actually flip through the guys on CLG. So nothing in the terms of abilities on CLG. I believe you got an HCXD out right now. So nobody with streaks, abilities, and weapons in control of Rise Nation at this point. And they're rotating a little bit early over here to Lab. You expect them to be able to break this with the Purifier, though.
Yeah, let's see. I'm going to go back. Octane, I think, has the Scythe ready. As far as the Purifier, when they get set up in Lab, he's so close. Methods might be able to get set up. I've seen him do a lot of damage in this particular hardpoint with that. But hey, you know, I know we have the live event viewer live for PS4, so we're going to have a lot of, you know, a lot of players that maybe haven't followed Call of Duty esports before are going to be tuning in from all across the globe, which is incredible stuff. But Matt, for maybe the new viewer who likes to play a lot of team deathmatch, hasn't really watched hardpoint, played hardpoint, kind of break this down for the new viewer at home.
Yeah, so the hills are going to rotate every 60 seconds. You're going to have players obviously playing inside of the hardpoint, earning their team points in the overall game score you see at the top. It's going to be a 5-minute time limit. When one team is in control of the hill, the overall game clock doesn't go down. When the hill is either, you know, vacant with nobody in it or contested, that's when you're going to see that 5-minute timer go down. Overall score limit's going to be 250 points. So right now, Rise looks like in a great spot to win this one.
They certainly do. You know, for you guys, think of games as a kid, it's kind of like a, you know, King of the Hill, basically with a rotating hill, just trying to lock it down. The most important thing is going to be controlling the spawns, you know, those areas on the map that are most favorable for you to work towards the hard point, and that is a big part of this game, just working together, making sure you control areas of the map. And like Matt mentioned, it's first to 250, a big lead right now for Rise Nation. The Purifier going going to be coming out for methods. He's trying to use this in close range combat, try to keep people here out of this first hard point in the second rotation. So once you go through him once, you're hopping right through that same rotation again. The flame is on. He's able to pick up one, but unfortunately for him, the rest of his team drops around him.
And he's 100 off of a lightning too, and he drops right there. So if he gets the lightning strike, that would have been big going forward. CLG, I don't want to say they make this a close game, obviously inching back into this one, but they have an opportunity to set up for that second hard point over by cages. They got to rotate over. Right now, yeah, I see Methods just push through this hill. It looks like Rise actually set up perfectly for this one. Now, Looney jumps out, tries to challenge right there before the hill pops up. You have Octane locking down that middle of the map, and then players from Rise locking down those back spawns. So a great setup for Rise Nation this far.
Really good job by Octane staying alive, and he finally gets beaten, tagged up, but he was 250, I think, off his Lightning, and he was set up with Lightning, Hellstorm, Wraith. So him trying to get full streaks would have been absolutely massive for his team, but that was a big kill there from CLG coming in to push him out. But you can see Rise Nation still set up. I'll blow up the map here for a second. You see an HC car flying in, tags up Classic, but you can see here as we pop out the bottom view, he is going to have Flak Jacket on, able to survive that explosive car soaring in, and the time just being racked up right now by Rise Nation.
Yeah, and with Overclock on, obviously it's going to open up that perk one spot to be able to run Flak Jacket. You're going to see two players stack up in the door. Slack's able to win those fairly easily. Felony comes through the back. He's able to pick him up, get control of the hill for CLG, but with only 10 seconds left, Rise doesn't need to challenge this. So with such little time on the hill and such a big lead, if you're Rise, you just want to try and set up, get these cutoffs as the players of CLG try and go over towards Palace. You see it's going to be Looney doing a great job of that.
You'll see Palace, the bottom hard point there. You'll see marked on the minimap, red arrows there. That means Rise Nation is going to be the team set up. They're going to try and hold off the push from CLG. That's Perplex coming in, picking up one before he dropped, switching over to Slack. He's going to pop his kinetic armor. He's going to have that added boost here, be able to eat some bullets. Grabs one, grabs two, trying to find a second. You saw one player pushing on the back wall run. That player going to ultimately end up cleaned up, and Slack still doing work here in Palace.
Yeah, you see how far away the spawns are coming in for CLG at that moment in time. They have zero chance to get anywhere near the hill within another 10 seconds or so if the game kept going. But it's going to end right there. Rise Nation going to win this one 250 to 118. Very strong performance in this first hard point.
Absolutely was. And Rise, this is a bit of a lopsided matchup. Rise Nation has been doing so well in the standings. CLG has been struggling. They're trying to make those team changes. They're trying to find, the puzzles to the pieces to the puzzle that fit for this team.
Yeah.
The puzzles, yeah. I'm just mixing words together. You ever never solved a puzzle?
Nah, didn't make any sense.
Wow.
But I get what you're trying to say.
Yeah, for those of you at home, though, this is going to be a best of 5. So when we take a look at it, this first game is going to be hardpoint. Next is going to be search and destroy, kind of the elimination best of 11 mode. That's what we'll be hopping to next. Taking a look at the map, that's going to be search and destroy on Redwood.
Yeah.
And S&D, something that I think certainly CLG has a better chance going up against Rise Nation. The hard point was always going to be a tough win for them.
On a map like Redwood, though, you're going to see a lot of sniper play. They think Rise has one of the better snipers in Octane. So
certainly
expect Octane to do some really nice things with the sniper on this map.
Well, let's take a look at the after-action report here real quick. You can see how these guys did statistically. We'll break it down for you by kills, deaths, time in the hill, and also those big kills, the defends, the ones around the hard point, keeping the opposition out. And this is what you get from Rise Nation. I feel like every time we watch these guys, it's such a well-rounded effort when you're looking at time, when you're looking at kills, everyone kind of getting it done.
Just so balanced. I mean, Slack, he has a monster game, goes 30 and 19 with a minute 28 in the hill. We don't even really talk about him because Classic got off to such a strong start. 24 and 19 finishes the game, a minute and 52 in the hill, and he's going to win all of those close range engagements when you need him to. That's a perfect player. Like Classic is going to play around the hills. He's going to be versatile with the AR SMG. Now, obviously win those high impact gunfights.
Well, let's take a look at some highlights now from this one. See what players really made an impact. It was all Rise Nation. I know we talked about them a lot, but this is a team. It's such a treat to watch. They are so good in every game type. They are so good, really when it just comes to every aspect of the game. That's why it's so hard. Ban Protect, the new system to this game that allows you to, kind of attack the other team's players, try to take guns out of their hands they're comfortable with. They are such a difficult team to attack, and you're starting to see why. I mean, they are just able to do it all.
Now, if you're CLG going into this search and destroy, how do you like to go at them at this point? I mean, you want to get rid of the sniper rifles, right? But that only kind of helps you target one player, and it doesn't really throw anything into your favor as a team, right? You get rid of the sniper rifles. It's great for your team. I know that they don't have the sniper rifles, but it doesn't help you in any way, shape, or form after that, right? You're only targeting one player. You're only affecting one guy in the game, and Octane's very good with the AR as well. So CLG's is a very tough spot.
The last time I actually casted this particular map and mode with Rise Nation, they looked horrendous. The communication was off. They left mid-map open so many times on offense that they were getting flanked
We did. We
over and
both
over.
cast that.
Yeah,
Like, who was that against?
I can't even remember, but it was so hard to watch because they just left mid open over and over again and kept getting flanked through mid-alley, through bunker. I got a feeling after that they're going to tighten things up a little bit, but that's what jumps to mind, at least last time I saw them play this. It was kind of, they were all over the place. Just seems like communication wasn't there for them.
Yeah, and you see Ban Protect here getting started. So you're going to see the SVG and the Shiva go with the first two. The SVG, obviously the sniper rifle of choice amongst pro players. You're going to see that one go whenever the other team has a very good sniper rifle player. You're going to see high caliber and rapid fire go as well. Those are the two attachments we see go all the time. The MR6, it's best pistol, I think, amongst these pro players. Obviously able to shoot it very fast. You see stuns and flashes go, and then overclock. Players don't want you to be able to get your abilities 2-3 times a game here in Search and Destroy.
Yeah, and again, throughout this broadcast, especially with the addition of the live event view, we're going to try and break things down a little bit for the new viewers at home. And this Ban Protect phase, maybe you haven't played Arena before, you're not used to the competitive rules, but this is a new feature to Call of Duty esports, and it's been great thus far. It really allows teams, it adds some strategy, allows you to attack your opposition by banning particular guns, perks, grenades, whatever it may be.
Anything.
Yeah, so if you're questioning sometimes, maybe you hop mid-game and you're watching and you don't know why certain things being used, a lot of the times, take a look at the Ban Protect before games. That's going to explain a lot of what's going on.
You're going to see CLG methods. He's going to grab Overdrive. I love Overdrive on this map. Obviously, you talked about the issues that Rise had. Watching that middle of the map, you're able to use Overdrive, get a little bit faster, maybe go all the way through A on a flank on the defensive side. Can really cause some damage.
You certainly can, and that's just, it's one of those abilities that teams are very scared of because you need to know, have an idea kind of what round they have it, when is it going to be up, because it kind of changes how you're going to play on offense or defense. It changes whether or not you can be very aggressive or what spots you're going to hit depending on that particular ability.
Search and Destroy, especially in the professional scene, it's a lot about timing. Like, you know when a player is going to get to a certain spot, and you can kind of anticipate that. And Overdrive just throws that completely out the window. I mean, you have no idea when that... Well, you have an idea of how fast a player can get somewhere with Overdrive, but you don't know if they're going to use it or not, whether they have it. So Overdrive, a really good ability to use in Search and Destroy.
It certainly is. We asked you guys before this match to reach out on Twitter. We wanted to hear your bold predictions. I believe it's a Mortal COD that was coming in. A Motive COD, sorry. It's going to be, he thinks H2K will 3-2 phase. Hard of hearing, old age. You can see my hairline here.
You got a haircut, though.
Yeah, I got it trimmed up. So haircuts,
a lot of people
for me,
can't tell.
So
I can tell.
When Matt gets a haircut,
it's a very long process.
It gets cut up here. When I get a haircut, you don't really touch this frivolous stuff. It's just the sides. They get poofy.
When I get a haircut, there's a lot involved, right? There's like the shampoo, the conditioner, then we go over to the color process, then we get that out, then we tone it, then we cut it. It's a very long day. I can imagine you go through cut. That is the only process they go through.
Oh, yeah, they get some clippers and they go like this, and I'm done in about 30 seconds. Yeah. It's great. Haircut costs like $15 for me.
That's ridiculous that they would charge you $15 for a haircut.
It's true.
I would do it for like $5.
Would you? You know what? Honestly, when you're done with your casting career, I could see you working in some sort of nail salon. I would let you cut my hair. I don't know that I trust you enough to, but I would let you.
Yeah, no, I don't even think there's a chance.
All of a sudden, it's just all gone.
Yeah, no, there's. I mean,
all gone.
All gone.
Like there's a lot there.
I'm not going to say. I wasn't going to say it. You said it, but there wasn't that much there to be all gone. Map loading up next. It's going to be a Redwood Search and Destroy, like we were talking about. It's going to be Rise versus CLG. Rise up 1-0 in the series. I think they take a 2-0 lead. Yeah. I think they jump up pretty fast.
And just taking a look at it, I believe we've got, everybody in the lobby going to be loading in here. Now let's take a look here at Redwood Search and Destroy. Now, when we're talking about these sites, typically, B is going to be the site that's really heavily targeted. Why is that?
It's just, it's a lot easier for the offense to attack that B site. Because you go over towards it, right? You can go through the bridge, you can go in water, come out underneath there. You can attack with a player in bunker. Going towards A, you're pretty much just exclusively on that, just kind of catwalk over there. There's just pretty much just one middle tree blocking you from the defensive side of things. So the A bomb site very hard to get into. You're going to see Octane picking up one with the sniper rifle, but CLG answers back with 2 quick kills. You have Looney has 1 player in bunker. He's going to be able to win that gunfight now, even it up at a 2v2.
Well, I think Perplex got backed up off the B site. That was pressure coming in from Slack. You can see here as I zoom out the minimap, just a split right now for your red side, which is CLG. Rotating back is going to be Looney and his partner Slack, but there's one player back in trees. He's going to pick up one. That's accuracy. He's tagged up another. Can he get both? Trying to find the last one. Not able to win that. All of a sudden, we've got a one-on-one in our hands. 40 seconds on the clock. Slack, your bomb carrier. He's got to pick a site. Has to work the plant. You can see top left of the screen. Perplex right now has designated to assign himself to protect A. This is going to be so much down to timing. Which site will Slack choose? And it looks like he's coming to A. We should have an engagement in our hand. They're going to bump into each other as he pushes in, and Slack able to take the one-on-one.
Big win there in that opening round, obviously, by Rise Nation. Slack wins this 1v1 versus Perplex. But I want to say, I don't want to say that's why they pick up Perplex, but Perplex, a very good S&D player. They pick him up to really, clutch rounds like that. And something of note, you have a stock on the VMP there for Slack there. It was, I believe, a grip quick draw stock. So we've seen that a little bit more now. Killa likes to run the stock on the VMP, or we've seen him do it from time to time. I think we start to see more players doing that as well.
Yeah, I mean, it just allows you to strafe that much quicker in these gunfights. It makes you harder to hit, a little bit harder to hit your shots, I would say. But if you feel confident you can do it, that's a snipe coming in from Octane. Poor guy gets his head ripped. He tries to challenge one more there on bridge. I'll try and figure out, get that player higher. That's accuracy. So accuracy thinks that he can take him on, wants to continue challenging, but Looney's going to push him. All of a sudden, it's Perplex by himself on steps inside a lab. He's got 3 players to deal with, Matt.
Well, at least he has the bomb, right? I mean,
That's a one silver lining.
Yeah, he's going to try and wrap this one back to B. He's going to have a player directly in the middle here. He's not going to be able to win that gunfight versus Looney, but you see what a good sniper can do for your team,
well, you
right?
saw it from the painful side of it. Is,
yeah, you
do. I'm crossing bridge. Blah!
No, you're no longer crossing the bridge. But you see, it just kind of disorients the whole offensive side, right? Octane hits that shot, and then it like traps accuracy on the bridge. They know exactly where he is behind a rock. You have players flying at him. His teammates don't want to poke out and try and help him because, they're pinned down by the sniper as well. So you see what a difference a good sniper can make.
And again, for viewers at home, this is kind of it's elimination based. You're going to have, it's best of 11, first to 6 here. You can see at the top of your screen, Rise Nation has 2 rounds under their belt. They're alternating here between offense and defense. And you can see the X-ray vision there. That silhouette allows you at home to see how it's breaking down, where players are pushing, where they're set up. So much easier. Octane able to pick up one. You saw Looney tagging one mid-map as well. And that player is going to re-peek and win that gunfight. So all of a sudden, you have 2 players up and bomb being planted here for Slack.
And Slack's going to get an HC in the process. Not going to win the gunfights, though. It's going to be CLG able to win this. Now, it's kind of funny. We can actually talk about it for a second. There's even some people on production who they go home, they'll play Call of Duty, and they'll be like, how do I get the perk with those outlines?
Oh,
I hear that like
so many times from new viewers.
They're like, yeah, I get tweets like, how do I get that? It's like, nah, it's not.
Just so we're clear,
it's not for you guys at home.
The players do not see that. You see those red tags.
No.
That is for you, the viewer, to watch and see where players are. But I've actually been asked that more times than you would think.
Yeah, it's a frequently asked question.
So, not some secret perk that allows for map hacks. That'd be very helpful.
Talk about a perk that would be banned frequently.
Permanent
That would be one that would, it's like, well, why would I get vision pulse when I can put this on and get it all the time?
Exactly. But let's kick things off now with Perplex. They're trailing by 1 round. CLG trailing also by 1 game in the series. They're getting across bridge, just kind of set up mid-map, but there is a hard flank that could start to come in here from the boys of Rise Nation if they opt to get forward. Let's switch things across. His Method's trying to deal with this pressure. He was able to get a headshot on one, but as you saw, a couple more players pushing there to fly at him. He tries to rotate back to bunker. He got some help in Felony, and they were able to clean everyone up, but poor old Looney, who puts his tail between his leg, and this will run back home.
Yeah, and as that happens, the bomb actually goes down on the B site, so it's going to be Looney and Octane. Last live, you see an EMP come out there, and it's actually quite odd. He probably knows there's a player on top, and Octane's actually going to win that one. He has 2 players directly in front of him, 1 in bunker, 1 behind that middle stump. Now he's going to lose those engagements. Method's able to pick up that kill at the end. Methods was huge that round. He did a really nice job watching the flank, shut down that entire defensive push by Rise Nation.
Well, I mean, not only did he get 1 kill, but he stayed alive.
Stayed alive.
Yeah.
He stayed alive for Felony to come over and help him as well.
Absolutely huge job, because I think it was basically 10 seconds or so where he was by himself kind of dealing with that, and he did an excellent job holding that off. Now it's going to be Rise Nation back to offense. Classic currently goosed, hasn't got a kill on the board. Let's see what's going wrong for him right now. We'll check out his class. You can see he is incredibly loaded up on perks right now.
Yeah, and he's going to use the Afterburner again all the way to this corner. He's going to go high. You see Methods with an engagement in the middle. Classic going to stop his Goose Cam, he's going to pick up a kill there on Perplex. It's going to even the player count at 3 apiece. PC Methods, this is the exact problem Rise had last time. They let a guy just get into mid-map, control their bunker. I think they have an idea Methods is here. You probably see his gun around the corner. Octane's able to take him out. And now Rise, with the man advantage, all they have to do is just flood one site together and trade these kills.
Yeah, well, you can get under bunker from the defensive side so quickly and just be a nuisance. And that time they weren't ready for it. It allowed for Methods to get the first blood. Thankfully, on the other side by B, Classic was able to pick up 1 kill. So they have the man advantage. They have bomb down. You can see there's going to be a split coming in. It's going to be Felony and Accuracy trying to pick up either side. Let's watch Felony for... I'm trying to see who will probably be the first to engage. Looks like they're both going to be inching their way up the map, and that player behind the tree is going to be so painful for him. The HC comes in, flies forward, not able to kill him. He is ultimately going to drop, though. Now it's going to be Accuracy in a 1v3. We'll switch over right as he dropped. Octane and Classic of Rise Nation able to close this out and give themselves a round edge.
So weak up at the tree, I love the idea of Octane to challenge. How many times have we seen, like, they get him weak and nobody challenges? It's like you have the man advantage, you know the guy is weak, you know exactly where he is. Just all he had to do was put in like 2 shots into him and he was dead. A lot of times players will play that a little bit too passive. I thought Rise played that really well.
Yep, they did a great job, and now they have a 1-round lead. They let back-to-back rounds go to CLG before kind of closing the floodgates. Now let's see what CLG opts to do on offense here. I think it looks like an aggressive push actually on defense coming. Looney's going to try and get right across the bridge. He pushes with confidence. Gets 1, gets 2, and that's how you snap back on 1 as he is going to turn and burn Perplex. Great play from Looney.
Well, there was one of his teammates was actually just putting some shots down the guy on the bridge with an assault rifle from afar. And the player for CLG on the bridge is just going to keep shooting at that AR player, allow Looney to just get up right close to him, win that gunfight. And Methods wins 1 in the middle of the map. He's got overdrive now. I don't expect him to use it this round. Potentially could if he wants to get the bomb over to a bomb site pretty quick. And right there, Felony challenges Classic 1v1 on the bomb site. He's going to lose that one. And it's going to put Methods in a very difficult spot. They know exactly where he is.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in bunker for the past 60 seconds. His whole round has been set
like
up
on
there.
both sides of the map. He's been on bunker, on offense or defense.
Oh, okay. There's a little 1 burst action. He's able to pick up Classic. Now it's going to be 1v1. Trying to challenge him there on the rock. Player using excellent cover, but he's pretty tagged up, and Methods wants to chase him down. He's going for it. That's where you might consider using the overdrive, actually, and flying at him, trying to clean him up all week.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Maybe potentially could have used overdrive. At this point, you could use it to get over towards A, and it's actually going to be Methods not going to use overdrive. He should be able to make it over towards A in time. Actually, he's not going to be able to, so he's going to have to wrap this one back to B, and at this point, doesn't have any time to plant the bomb.
How does this work out?
How is that going to...
I didn't agree with any decision that Methods made.
I didn't agree anything he was doing whatsoever. I mean, Octane could have been anywhere at that point.
Well, heads-up play by Methods. I mean, he is the pro player, and he's the one winning the 1v1. But I was like, use that overdrive, get the plant, use the overdrive, chase the kill. Doesn't use it, saves it. So ultimately, the decision in winning the round and he has overdrive, it all works out in his favor.
It's huge. Let's go through Rise Nation, see what abilities they have. Actually, he's actually going to pop overdrive. So let's say on Methods, he's probably going to challenge this mid-map. When you have overdrive on the defensive side of things, definitely want to get into bunker as soon as possible. And I believe it's called out, but Octane throwing a grenade gets caught off guard. Now you're going to see Methods really push the opposing team back. You see the position that he gets. It forces everybody to rotate back for Rise. 2 big kills for Methods.
Beautiful stuff for Methods.
Currently on a 5 streak, only 150 away from the dart.
And he stays alive.
Barely gets out of bunker, but fantastic play to stay alive.
No, this is huge. I mean, really good use of overdrive. He clutched up last round. He's come clutch in this one, too. And they have complete advantage right now. I'll switch over to Looney just because the poor guy is all by himself right now in a 1v4, 50 seconds on the clock. But the silver lining again, this guy does have bomb. But let's see Perplex point of view as he might be able to get this peek on him right before he gets away, but not able to clean up the kill.
No, and it looks like CLG is actually all going to be attacking from the tree line side. So Looney's going to be all alone here. He's got 1 player directly in front of him, and he has Heat Wave as well. If they stack up on the bomb, could potentially use it. Not going to be able to win the second gunfight. I imagine they have somebody on bomb. Yeah, you see CLG is going to get the bomb defused. They just kind of had to keep him at bay there, not let him get in and get some shots off on the guy defusing.
I want to see if maybe he'd be able to pick up that kill, fly forward, but 1v4s are so tough, especially when the team is heads up enough to stick it right away like that and not just go hunting for him. They play it wisely, they get the win, and that round was completely opened up by Methods, getting the big 2-piece off of his overdrive and wreaking havoc inside a bunker. But mid-map, with or without overdrive, has kind of been a nuisance again for Rise. Not as bad as last time I casted them on this map, but they definitely need to get things together. I want to start off with Methods yet again, but it's going to be them pushing in. He just did it to them. He's like, all right, maybe they'll try and push me. Patiently waits, able to pick up another kill.
Well, I like the way he plays that, because a lot of times, if the team doesn't see anyone over in bunker, they'll just try and push somebody in right away. You see Perplexed gets up into the top window of Rise, and he's able to win a gunfight as well. And now Rise, they're just kind of trapped in the middle of the map, especially Looney. You see Felony picking up Octane. Nobody picks up a kill for Rise, and CLG 1 round away from evening the series up at 1 game apiece. But no, I love the way he plays that in bunker. A lot of times when players don't see somebody, they'll just jump right in, try and go on the flank, and he just baits the guy right into it.
Well, bunker, I mean, I don't want to say it's the most important spot on the map, but where it is with it being a power position looking over mid, it's up there with one of the most important positions for sure, because it controls kind of the flank from either side, being able to get through mid-map, and at least for the past couple of rounds, it's been utterly dominated by Methods of CLG.
See if Rise can extend this one. Would like to see potentially them go over towards A. Definitely would change things up. Obviously, it's not been working around for them thus far. If they're able to win this round, though, they go back on the defensive side of things. You expect to be able to force around 11.
This guy's so dead. He's by himself. He got into aggressive position because he's thinking they haven't gone A at all. I'll try to play aggressive, but unfortunately for them, they fly right at him. Now Felony tries to back it up. He's going to fall as well. Perplex is flanking around. Methods is still alive, but this is looking very good for Rise Nation.
And Rise out, so not to put the bomb down at A. They're going to push straight through as a 4-man unit. Love that decision. Obviously, you're going to win the round if you get the bomb down there at A, but you might as well push through, just try and get that one last kill, make it either a 3v1 or obviously best case scenario a 4v1, which they do.
Well, we'll check. C-Bomb getting down. We'll go back to Perplex now as he's going to be the man in the 1-on-4. Can he win the impossible? He's able to pick up one. He's got a little bit of time to work with here, Matt, but we know how tough this is.
Yeah, no, the players from Rise know exactly where he is. He's not going to last very long at all. You see Looney picking up the final kill there. And that's huge because now, obviously, going in on the defensive side of things, you figure Rise should be able to win that. I know the defensive side on this map, don't want to say it's easier than the offensive side, but on defense, on that Search and Destroy, you should win most of your rounds. Yeah,
no, you certainly should, and I think most of their struggles have come kind of from that offensive side. Again, leaving that mid-map open. Defensively, they've done a bit of a better job. So I want to watch the defense.
Yeah,
for
what do
once.
they have in terms of abilities? So you have a Vision Pulse. I believe you still have Heat Wave.
Can you switch through the other guys real fast? And well, look at the push though. This is looking very scary.
So Classic's got Camo. He's actually using it right now. Doesn't do anything with it. You have Slack getting closer to Kinetic. The bomb going down at A. You have Looney with Heat Wave as well. So I would expect Octane to Vision Pulse once his teammates get over here. And then you're going to see Rise try and make a push.
I love this angle from Perplex. He's ready for Classic. Finally connects on his shots. Able to pick up one. Looney fell off the map. Now it's all up to Octane. He's by himself. He's got 3 players to go with it. CLG is going to close that out. And that... They stacked B. They stacked B on defense. No was it A. They left a quick, easy open plant for CLG. They had a good player on the flank, and Perplex watching the flank. Everything just fell apart. And I don't know what happened to Looney, but
neither do I.
He's with the fishes.
But it's a very bad round for Rise Nation. I mean, you never get any use of your Vision Pulse. I don't think Looney actually even uses the Heat Wave. So you didn't get any use of Heat Wave.
Yeah, you gotta use everything you can to get to round 11, right?
Yeah, they had Classic use Camo and push over onto the bridge over by B, but there was nobody there. I mean, I don't want to say. I mean, looking back on it, obviously, if he saves it and they have it to try and break over by A, potentially he wins that gunfight on the back.
Yeah,
and changes the round. But you don't know that if you're Rise. You don't know that they're going to be going over towards A. Yeah,
it took a gamble. They tried to stack B, and we talked about the fact that B is hit. 90% of the time, it feels like you see 1 or 2 A hits really from either side all the time, and it doesn't work out. The gamble doesn't pay off, and Rise is going to lose game number 2. So the series will be tied up 1-1 in this best of 5. The next game we're going to be taking a look at is Uplink. I think arguably my favorite respawn. I'm pumped for this one, and this is a scary matchup for Rise. Or sorry, for CLG.
For CLG, yeah. Rise, one of the better Uplink teams we have. I think this one is one that you would definitely favor Rise Nation, and we can take a look at the scoreboard real quick. Methods had a phenomenal game, finishes 11-6, coming up with some big kills inside bunker, did some nice things with overdrive. On the side of Rise Nation, Slack had a monster game 1, doesn't come through in game 2, finishes 3-6.
Yeah, Methods, he kind of won a couple rounds for his team by clutching that 1v1, then opening with the 2 kills with the overdrive. Did a lot to kind of propel the momentum in their favor to close out this game 2. Let's take a look at the highlights from Search and Destroy on Redwood. That was Slack clutching a 1v1, and he didn't pick up many kills after that.
No. No, not at all. Now, it was Classic got off to a slow start. I believe like 1-4, 0-4.
Yeah,
he was
0-4.
Yeah. He's able to bring it back a little bit. Finishes like 5-8.
And
but
this is
still,
the 1v1 methods, which
that is a huge round in the grand scope of things. I mean, what, it was like 4 seconds on the clock when he's able to win that?
Well, because usually if you're a player there, you make sure you get the bomb planted, then you worry about the 1v1. But he said, screw time, screw the plant, I'm hunting down this kill, and props to him, he gets it done. That round goes the different way. He doesn't find Octane there.
Rise could easily win the map.
Very easily.
Octane sits in that corner for another, what, 2 seconds? Methods probably jumps in the window, and Octane's able to win a pretty easy gunfight.
Yeah, the timing certainly worked out brilliantly there for him. Now, let's take a look forward. We're going to be going to Uplink on Infection. Now, this is one of my favorite maps and modes, and when we talk about this particular map, what do you think is the most important thing for CLG to avoid a blowout here from Rise?
Don't get spawn trapped. When you get spawn trapped, either make the decision to go on the overextension as a team or wrap back as a team. The one thing that will get you blown out in Uplink is when the other team has control of your base and 2 people try and go back and play for the drone, 2 people try and go back and play for your base. You got to make that team decision together. You got to go together,
yeah,
whether it's go on the overextension or go back to your base is all 4.
Sometimes that 2-2 split gamble pays off if you win every gunfight and it looks brilliant, but most of the time
you're better
get
off playing it safe. Yeah, you're better off playing it safe.
But just waiting on the players to ready up here. We should be hopping into the ban protect momentarily for the Uplink. We haven't seen anything, I guess, too shocking, too out of the ordinary so far in the ban protect. No one's been able to really mix things up, kind of attack the other team. We'll see if maybe CLG can find something to get the edge. You see Looney get into Sheev out right away. Does not want to deal with that on this map.
No, I think you'll see a high caliber rapid fire go as well. There you see the MR6 go too. That is one that's been gone in every game thus far. CLG does not have anybody who's very good with that pistol, so going to get it out of the game. Expect, Overdrive, Camo, Kinetic. Those are like the 3 biggest abilities you'll see targeted during this. You're going to see Overdrive go, Flashbangs, Stuns probably soon to follow. Then that last one, you figure Rapid Fire still in the game. That one's got to go as well.
It should be Rapid Fire.
Felony probably gets rid of Rapid here.
Unless they
want to keep Rapid and use a Pharaoh. Pharaoh very good at long range when you have Rapid Fire on it. Could potentially be a combination we see.
I feel like if this was the Rise side, they might not care and they'd want to play with it, but I don't see CLG leaving it in.
Yeah, Rise, we've seen Classic use the Pharaoh a few times. That's going to be out. And, obviously, the VMP, the Kuda, probably the 2 strongest SMGs for competitive Call of Duty. The Pharaoh kind of jumps into that conversation once you put Rapid Fire into play.
Oh, yeah, it definitely makes it a force to be reckoned with. I didn't know if maybe they try to attack Camo, just leave that in there, but ultimately going to take out the second of those deadly attachments with high caliber. But looking into this, we'll take a look at the specialist draft right now. The first weapon to come in for both sides is going to be a Scythe. You've got a Heat Wave for either side as well. Mirror match, actually, thus far. We'll see now if they opt to go with a second weapon or they go...
Kinetic.
Yeah, if Kinetic's still in, you have to use Kinetic.
Yeah, there's no way that you don't see Kinetic. So
the only time we really see 2 weapons, because sometimes we've seen Overdrive, Kinetic, and Camo all be knocked out in ban protect for Uplink. With only Overdrive going, not shocked to see you have 3 abilities.
Yeah, with Kinetic in the game and Camo, you're going to have both of those. Those are 2, outside of Overdrive, the 2 probably strongest abilities in Uplink.
Yeah, no, I could not agree with you more. So going into this one, I mean, when you're taking a look kind of at either side of this map, it all comes down to, getting that spawn trap. Whether you're pushing towards Church, you get in through a barn, you kind of control Grave, and you're spawning them out on those outskirts over and over and over again. On the other side, I mean, I feel like both sides, you're kind of just trying to spawn them outskirts, right? Like towards that edge of the map where you're looking out towards the sky, towards death, basically, trying to get control, trying to spawn them out.
Over by B Street. So that's going to be where you would normally in Search and Destroy go down towards that B bomb site. That's where you want to spawn the opposing team because obviously you're attacking Church. It's easy to get into Grave, hit those 1-point throws from that position. And then obviously if you're attacking towards Grandma's, you're able to get on that wall run, hit those 1-point throws, and then get behind that tank and have a nasty angle to spawn trap.
Well, we've got another response from you guys regarding the bold prediction earlier for Twitter. I believe it's Chutoy coming in as he is going to say TK doesn't want relegation.
I agree with you.
Beating
TK.
Complexity 3-2.
Runchy, I agree with you. Wrenching.
That's a Maven.
TK does not want to play in relegation.
They'd love not to play relegation.
TK is like praying not to play in relegation. It's like they've not looked good. That looked good.
They haven't, and it's one thing too to mention. We talked about H2K getting a team house. Wanting to take things seriously. Really, all get together, all four, play together at the house. Just make sure that you're getting the best the most you can out of practice out of these matches. But one thing to note, TK's had the team house, and they haven't been able to turn it into effect.
No.
So those people that say like, oh, team house is everything, like having an organization that puts up a house for us is everything. It's not, because we've seen it work out great for some teams. We've seen it not really come to fruition for others. But H2K, at least last night, they looked damn strong.
Oh, they looked great last night. They looked like a completely different team. I think definitely being able to play with each other, sit next to each other, vibe off of the energy, especially for that team, it's going to be huge.
Well, take a look now. You can see the map overlay. I love we had these put together here, and this is as much for viewers that have been around for years, and also for new viewers. Just see kind of how this map looks in the overlays. You see at the top left of the Codcaster as well. You can see where the drone spawns mid-map. You see both spawns here for the red and blue side as well, and they are going to be attacking for control of that drone. But this I think is certainly one where I'm favoring Rise Nation. The respawns, they are so strong, and I want to kick things off with none other than Rise Nation's Looney.
Without a doubt, and I think obviously something of note to point out, Uplink's going to have a 5-second respawn delay, and then obviously if you're able to pick up the drone, throw it into the other team's goal, you're going to get 1 point. If you're able to bring it into the other team's, you're able to bring it in the other team's goal, carry it in, you're going to get 2.
And this early break is scary. When you get 2, 3, 4 down and allow them to push forward, it can become very scary early. You can get punished, but Slack does exactly what he needs to do. Gets 1 kill, allows his teammates to get up, and he's got drone kind of stuck here, but he needs his teammates to pick up some kills. His mid-map is really entirely red right now.
And I love the idea not to pick up the drone right here. You're not opposed to having it reset if you're Rise, right? You have no mid-map control, just buys you a ton of time. I think Slack make a great play there.
He certainly did. Now we're going to have 3 down for the other side of things, so CLG is going to be coming off spawn, and you can see the pressure now coming forward for Rise. They pick up 1 kill in Graveyard. You saw that coming at the top of the minimap. Looney now getting inside a barn, trying to make a play. Goes for the 1-point toss up over Church. Does it connect? The 1-pointer going through. Rise Nation with an early lead, and unfortunately for them, there's still some pressure inside of Church. That's Classic almost picking up 2.
Yeah, and Classic wants to control that position because you're able to get to Grave from there, and you saw that 1-point throw that Looney was able to get off. You have 1 player on your team controlling that Graveyard. You're able to just pick up the drone, run it straight at him, and just get those 1-point throws off. And it's one of the most frustrating things as a team, right? When you're trying to play defense and the guy is just hitting 1-point throw after 1-point throw from an angle you can't see. It's got to be very frustrating.
It certainly can be, and now we're watching Felony. He's in one of the most powerful positions on the map here, kind of between steps at Sandbags, trying to get some work done. He picked up 3 before he ultimately dropped. Unfortunately, he ran into one of the best AR players in the game, Octane. He was able to pick him up. Now everyone just kind of working towards mid-map, trying to get control of the drone. You can see that right in front of Perplexed here. He's going to be the guy to get forward. He has Felony actually grabbing the drone. He's trying to cover him. 1 player to his right. Good awareness there, but unfortunately, Felony's by himself. Can he connect? And he misses the 1-point toss. That flies off the map, so you can see it has reset here to mid.
He's wide left on that throw. He's able to knock that down, tie it up. That's a big play by Felony, and especially because it wasn't like a great team push out of CLG. You see Heatwave come in. Perplex going to stop players attacking from Rise Nation, but it wasn't a great team push from CLG. It was really 2 guys. It was like Perplexed and Felony with the drone. Now, obviously, you're able to turn a 2-man push into a score. Would have been a big play.
Yeah, and this differs a lot from something like hardpoint, where it's fly, fly, fly at the objective, fly at that hardpoint repeatedly. This is much more of a layered game. You have to control kind of inch by inch up the map. Just make sure you're putting pressure on your opposition. And now, like, look at it. You just see them getting forward as a 4-man unit, trying to flood. They're going to get here into top Grandma's. They're set up nicely, but 1 player comes from behind, and that's Looney picking up a couple kills. Octane gets 1 as well, and now we're going to see the counter potentially going outskirts. They're going to wrap around the long way.
Yeah, and you see the spawns coming in from CLG. They're going to be all the way in Grave on that left-hand side. The drone coming all the way on the right. You see Looney potentially go for a 1-point throw here. He's going to get it off, and not going to connect. Thought it might have been able to go in on the bounce, just doesn't go through, and you're going to see the drone out of the back of the CLG base, going to be reset. Now the drone going to go back to mid-map. Then I don't really know who that favors because you have a player set up in a good position for Rise Nation, but you have Felony coming in through the B bomb site area. going to put a lot of pressure on Rise here with the AR.
Yeah, this is one of the best spots in this game. He's going to opt to hit his kinetic, pick up one. He's going to drop then. 2 down, though, for the side of Rise. Perplex is able to pick up another one. They need someone in position for the drone, and right now they don't have anyone. He's going to have to rotate all the way outside of Church and layer back here, try to get set up at mid-map. This is one of the more low-scoring uplinks. We only have one-point toss through thus far. You had 1 miss for CLG, but this has been, I mean, not really slow, just slow when it comes to points.
Yeah, it's usually you see the score a little bit higher than this. Perplex is going to go in, try and get a 1-point throw off. He's going to connect with it, so big play there out of Perplex. It's going to be a 4 dead, though, for CLG. Now you expect Rise Nation to push up the map, try and answer back with the score of their own.
Yeah, that's the only positive you can take from that. They got 1 point in, but you got 4 down if you're Rise, so you at least didn't kind of, you know, let the floodgates open, lose complete control, allow any kind of rally for CLG. They now have a potential to counter here, and there's Camo. This should be a dunk as long as he doesn't get tagged up. The shot's coming in so hard to hit him, but they do!
Oh.
They kill him right before he goes through. Perplex has it off the map. What a big kill coming in for Felony. It is not easy to hit a Camo player.
No, and that's why you see Camo, one of the most used abilities in Uplink, because you lose that auto aim when that player is flying through the air. He's so difficult to hit. Right there, Classic does a phenomenal job hitting that wall run, able to get up near the goal, just stop inches before he can put in that 2-point play.
Oh yeah, that was remarkable. I mean, that's usually always points when you see Camo get hit that close to the score. 4 seconds left, time trickling away, and I don't think we're going to see anything else come through. So going into the second side, we see CLG holding strong, playing Rise Nation tough. The underdogs tied up 1-1 going into the second side, and this is anybody's game 3.
You know, CLG's doing a nice job slowing down the pace a little bit, right?
Well, but that's what you have to do.
That's what you want to do when you're a team that, I don't want to say, Rise definitely has the advantage, like in the gun-on-gun game. Like, they're going to be able to outslice CLG most of the time. When you're a team that does not have that advantage, you want to slow the game down a little bit, make it easier for your players.
For you at home, compare it to, like, you know, actual sports, something like football. You know, if you're the underdog, you probably want to run the ball, use the clock, take your time. If this is college basketball, you're going to slow it down, take your time getting up the court, pass it around, make sure you're using the full shot clock. You do not want to get into a fast-paced counter game with Rise Nation.
The fact that college basketball still has a 30-second shot clock is the most ridiculous thing ever, by the way.
March Madness is almost upon us.
Yeah, it's just teams who are underdogs just holding onto the ball at half court for most of the game. You see a 1-point throw go in there from Classic, but yeah, you see like teams like Butler that just like pass the ball around for 25 seconds.
Yeah, it's like you watch 2 top teams, it's like 75-75. You watch an underdog playing against another team that scores 45-40. It certainly can slow down, but that's what you've got with CLG right now. They're trying to get their best advantage here, trying to give themselves their best chance to win this game, and right now they're doing a pretty good job. They're only trailing by 1. Things have not at all gotten scary for them yet. This is certainly a game they can take. We're watching Slacked try and hold mid for Rise Nation right now. Pretty good position there, but not able to get the shots. Felony able to turn and take him out. All of a sudden you have 2 down for Rise Nation, and this might be pressure coming in from CLG. They're able to get forward. They only have 2 players. You have the Camo. It does get popped. You can't try a dunk here. You have to just get the toss-up. I think that's too high. I think it's too high.
No, he's able to connect with it. I thought he used the Camo a little bit early. I actually think he had a lot of time, potentially even get up to that tank, then use the Camo and potentially try and force a 2-point play. But Method's able to use it, get a 1-point score, and accuracy actually on a 4 streak right now. 16-9, doing a very nice job.
He's going to have
it. Yep, he's going to have an HC. Does not get anything else. No. Going to be looking to see as we get closer towards the end of this game overall, if players start kind of stacking these abilities, stacking these weapons, trying to make a big play, open the map up.
All right, well, Classic trying to get forward. He's going to get cut down right there in front of Tank, not able to get anywhere else, but looking at Green Alley, that's going to be Looney getting 1 before he drops as well. They're still fighting for the drone. It's still in a scary position if you're CLG. They're able to cut Slack down and finally get control. We'll see if they opt to wrap this or reset. Looks like they want to wrap because you see accuracy getting a kill there up front on outskirts. This is going to come down to Classic to slow this down. He's able to get Felony. He might be able to tag up the drone carry, and that one gunfight when stopped what was probably going to be a guaranteed 1 point. And who killed it? Accuracy. So Slack got accuracy as well. So what could have been a 1-point counter turns into nothing.
Yeah, Perplex set up over on the Rise Nation tank, though. It's going to put some pressure on Rise to rotate all the way back to her base. He wins another one. You're going to see Felony get off a 1-point throw. He's going to connect with it. So big plays here out of CLG. Going to see 2 kills in the kill feed go in favor of Rise Nation, but Method's just doing a nice job putting that pressure on Rise. It was the same spot we saw Perplex do some nice things from. Method's pushed up right with the Man of War. Was able to get in position to make a play as well.
Thank God for Flak Jacket there, because that might have been a two-piece for an HC. Felony trying his best to stay alive. You see two teammates drop. That's mid-control for Rise Nation, and now they are going to try to get forward. Slack's got it in hands. 20 and 18 right now. He's opting to take it outside. He's got some coverage from behind.
He's going to go for a one-point throw, I think.
And they spawn at the bottom of the map, so he might have a good opportunity, but they're going to play for the pick. You should see a couple players right here in front of the goal. You do see that, so I might switch to Felony's point of view when they go for this. So let's see it from his point of view. He's going to try and stop the one-point toss. I think it just went up over his head, actually, and Rise able to sink it. Because of the aggression there, no one able to go for the interception.
Yeah, and I believe it was Classic getting that one-point throw off. Classic, heralded by a lot of the pros as having one of the best uplink shots. Always knocks down his one-point throws, and it's something you kind of say, it's like, I don't want to say it should be a given, but it's very difficult under the pressure of, people shooting at you. Obviously, the team comms kind of going crazy. Get off those one-point throws, and it's actually Method's trying to get the drone out of the map. He gets cut down, and look at this. Octane in a perfect position to put in it, too.
Nice
and he's going to do so. It's going to be Rise Nation taking the lead here with just over a minute to go, up by 2.
Yeah, it's not the same as something like basketball where, it's kind of just range that makes the shots more difficult. It's not so much range in this as basketball players don't have to deal with gunfire as they're trying to put through the drone. Sometimes when you're getting tagged up, if you have vibration on, controller shaking, you're just trying to get off an accurate shot. It can be very, very difficult. Here comes a long-range jumper. Can he put it through? Octane a bit off. He just flushed through a dunk moments ago, not able to add to this lead. And that would have been a big one-pointer because that makes it at least a two-possession game.
Yeah, it makes it a two-possession game. I was just going to say that. But now it looks like CLG going to go all the way down the B street with this. They have one player actually all the way in the back. It's going to be Perplex. He gets taken out by Slack. You see accuracy. He's going to get hit with Heat Wave. Looney comes in with a big two-piece. And if you are Rise Nation, all you got to do is just kind of hang out with the drone here on the B street. You don't have to push it up.
Just waste some
Fantastic
time.
Play by Looney and Co. Actually, he's going to opt to go for a one-point play. As you see, the kill feed just dominated by Rise Nation. Obviously able to knock that down. That kind of puts away the game. It's going to be Rise Nation taking Uplink. Game number 3, 6-3 over CLG.
I mean, honestly, if you're CLG, I thought you did an excellent job kind of forcing Rise Nation to play the game you wanted to play. The difference was kind of that dunk by Octane at the end there. Just one of them sneaks through. They had forced Rise to go for somewhat difficult one-point shots throughout most of the game. They didn't give up a lot of dunks. They didn't give up a lot of rallies.
It was a kill by Slacked in the back of the base, so the drone gets thrown back there, and Methods picks it up, and he's trying to get it out, and before he can actually get it out of his base, Slacked picks up the kill. And then you see Octane come through that broken building. He's able to pick up the drone and bring it in for 2. That really changed the game. Yeah,
that was a fun one to watch for sure. I mean, props to CLG. You played them tough. You're the underdogs in this one. I think you did a pretty good job getting Rise Nation to play your game. Unfortunately, coming up just a little bit short. So 6-3 win in Game 3 for Rise Nation is going to propel them to a 2-1 advantage right now in this best of 5. They're one game away. Our first series of the night, we are going to be seeing a CTF. There will be no 3-0 in this one. Coming into CTF, the fact that CLG wants to slow the game down a little bit, do you think do you give them better chances in this versus something like a hard point or an uplink?
CTF is going to slow down regardless, right? It's a game mode that's played very methodical, very slow paced in general, kind of contrary to what we saw in all of the games yesterday on Stronghold. But Breach CTF, it's one that you actually have the chance to up the pace a little bit more. Probably our fastest paced CTF out of the ones we play. Take a look at the scoreboard real quick before we talk more about CTF. But Slacked with another big game and Respawn 27 and 22. Duck Classic did a nice job connecting on those one-point throws, but I think the 2-point play by Octane was huge.
Yeah, for the most part, I think Rise nailed all their play, nailed all their one-point shots.
They had one they missed.
We saw one miss from CLG and one from Rise in total, but overall, just a better job by the side of Rise Nation taking advantage of those big moments when they had their opportunities arise. We'll watch some highlights here before we get loaded into the CTF. A very close game through most of this. I mean, the fact that it was, 1-1 going into the second half was pretty wild to me.
Yeah, and I thought if you were CLG, you kind of took that, right? Going to attack Grandma's side, it's one that I think is probably the more preferred side out of the two that you would like to attack there. You're able to get control of Grave, you're able to hit some one-point throws easy, you got some protection from the tanks in the front, try and get a 2-point play right there. Classic was inches away from putting that one home. He gets cut down when he had camo. It's fantastic shots. I believe that was Felony Perplex on the defensive side of things for CLG there.
Yeah, it certainly was. And you just kind of, you had one little break kind of. You tried to play that slower defensive game. One time you allowed a player to get in back of your base, start to disrupt you and Slacked, and that led to this eventual dunk right here for Octane. And that was really the first kind of breaking defense for CLG. Before that, they did a really good job.
Strong.
They basically kept all those gunfights, all that pressure to like that, 20, 30-yard line. They never really let them get in the red zone and apply a lot of pressure. All those shots were deep. They were making them make difficult one-point tosses, but you had that one little lapse that really kind of what it came down to for me. But now as we are going to go into CTF, this is, again, a game that kind of naturally slows down, but you definitely have teams that slow it to a snail's pace at times. And I think for CLG, even though it's maybe not the game you want to play, you kind of have to against Rise right now. Again, you don't want to get fast-paced with them.
I feel like they're not, though. I think you're going to see, Felony and Perplex with the SMGs push up, get pretty aggressive on the Rise Nation base. I think you'll see maybe even some Man of War use. We saw Methods with it that last game. Breach, a map that you can get away with that over an M8.
Oh, you certainly can.
And Man of War is pretty powerful.
Yeah,
so
mostly mid-range to short-range combat. And, the big difference maker, maybe for those of you new to the game, when you have a burst rifle versus a fully automatic, I mean, the big difference is kind of in that close range where maybe you need to get away with a little bit of hip fire, get some hit markers there before you're able to zoom in on players. And the Man of War, definitely, I think on Breach one, we could see the ICR got buffed in the patch yesterday.
That's true.
Maybe we'll see that a little bit as well. But let's hop into the Ban Protect here for Breach CTF. The next game here in this best of 5 between CLG and Rise Nation and Rapid Fire going to be coming off quickly, probably shortly followed by High Caliber.
You'd expect so. Those are the two attachments that go in almost every game. And if you are a Rise Nation, do you actually think about maybe getting rid of the M8 from the standpoint that Octane is so good with the other assault rifles that, accuracy and Methods, those are guys who are going to be using the M8 most of the time, if not all of the time.
I wouldn't hate that. I mean,
I wouldn't hate it.
He is comfortable using everything, and I think there's only a few AR players in the game that really will use whatever AR they're given, and they're still going to drop 30, 40 kills.
Right.
They can really get it done with everything. That'd be interesting because I think if you're a player, even though we saw Methods using the Man of War, I think, him, accuracy, they prefer the M8 mightily, whereas we've seen Octane sometimes with the M8 not banned using a wide variety of stuff. And I can only say that for a couple other players. I think Formal, we've seen that a couple times.
Yeah.
But typically every other AR, I mean, if the M8's in, you're using the M8.
And with Overdrive and Camo gone, you're going to see a Heatwave and Kinetic from both teams. Now, this opens it up to potentially 2 weapons. I think you'll probably see something like a Psychosis or a Vision Pulse in the CTF, though.
Yeah, and then likely Scythe Annihilator, unless we see somebody mix it up with the Tempest in this one. So yeah, you see Heatwave, Kinetic. Those should be your 2 abilities. There's a potential for a Vision Pulse in Seppi. I think we'll see Annihilator, Scythe coming in a 2-on-2 split.
Yeah, for the CLG side, you're definitely going to see accuracy run a Scythe. So they're going to go Kinetic, Heatwave, Annihilator, Scythe. Then on the side of Rise, Classic could go Vision Pulse, he could go Weapon. We've seen him use the Tempest before. You see the Scythe come from accuracy. We both kind of thought that that's the way they would go. And he's going to go Annihilator, so no Tempest in this one. The Tempest is one that we've seen a decent amount over the last 2 weeks. I think a lot more than we saw previously.
Yeah.
But I think players still kind of feel more comfortable with the Annihilator. They've used it a little bit more.
All right, well, just waiting on these guys. So, there's a little bit of a brief period here where you get to hang out with us, and that's just because these players, after the Ban Protect, they're given 90 seconds really to go in and edit all their classes.
Yeah.
Maybe they had a Shiva class. Shiva gets banned. You've got to take that out. So gives them a little bit of time here to get set up before we hop into the next game. But
you would think 90 seconds is like a lot of time to change your classes, and then you go and play, and you're like,
I remember the first time I played.
I missed that one.
I was a big pusher because, you and I were involved at the beginning of the CWL, kind of with settings and stuff, how it was all going to go, because Ban Protect was new. And I know you and I were like, I want to get downtime as low as possible. The players will figure it out.
30 seconds to change the class.
Yeah, 45 seconds. And then
40 seconds.
I actually play Arena. I'm like,
no.
I got one class ready.
I'm like, I have nothing to use. Yeah.
I was like, I'm not the fastest person, but I created one class in 60 seconds. Maybe they need a little more time. And, this seems to be kind of a nice happy medium for the players to have enough time and also give us a little time to break down the next game. But CTF is going to be next. Breach, a lot of this is going to be, a lot of flag caps in this can be about great wall runs, great movement, because you're able to kind of shift from the top to the bottom of the map very quickly across top mid. So you're able to get your juke on a little bit, mix it up, get some variety. We see that happen in Uplink. We see that happen in CTF. A lot of times you get some very impressive flag routes, and we'll see who gets the advantage in this one.
In CTF, obviously a huge advantage goes to the team that gets that first cap. If you're able to get that first cap on the board for your team, can't stress that enough, that you are playing from a huge advantage going forward. I think, obviously you're going to look for both of these teams to try and get that first cap. But you see the map now, it's going to be Breach, capture the flag, Score limit's going to be unlimited. This one, 250 flags would be a lot.
Oh, I just noticed that 250 points. Yeah, that might be something we ought to change, because if someone gets 250 flag caps, that would be mind blowing.
I don't even know how I would cast that.
That'd be unbelievable. I don't.
And there's a flag. There's another flag.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough time to physically do that. That would be amazing. But you know, taking a look there at red and blue, is there a color you think it's easier to push for, easier to get a flag out?
Yeah, it's obviously going to be easier to go towards that green flag on the mini-map now. If you're the side from Rise Nation, you're attacking over towards Broken, definitely going to be easier to get the flag out.
All right, well, let's watch from their side. We're going to start off with Looney. I talked about the routes, how important they can be on this map, because you've got a lot of variety here. He's going to flank mid.
3 dead right away.
Yeah, I don't think he realizes his team already killed everyone. So now he's going to get forward. They're going to spawn them by Palace. Yeah, they're spawning outside Palace. This is looking very good so far. Just loading out the minimap for a second so you can see where players are headed. I'm going to switch to Perplex. He's the man on defense. Not going to matter as he's going to cut down there from Octane, and the flag is out. This is not what you want as CLG, as you are at risk of putting one away so quickly. They try to catch him, not there in time. They've already wrapped the corner, and Slack's got one on the board and the kill at home.
Yeah, I mean, CLG only picks up 1 kill throughout the first almost minute of this game. They get 2 kills.
Not a good start.
And a flag goes in for Rise Nation. Talk about momentum. Really just kind of coming out swinging here. Rise puts a hurt on CLG in the first minute, and we talked about how big that first flag cap is. Just for Rise to get it. Now it doesn't matter what kind of pace they play. They can slow it down. They can force CLG to kind of run at them. That puts a huge favor in Rise's corner.
It certainly does, and you see Slack there already had an HC. He used that to pick up a kill, and now he's 100 off his lightning, so he's getting very close to streaks. He found one too. As I say, don't challenge this. Play it wisely. You have help from Octane. If you wait one more second there, you're probably going to have an easy kill, but ultimately going to drop, and Classic has it out. Another one. Is he going to pick up one? Can't pick up a second there. Didn't have enough bullets left in the Man of War to close that one out. Now the pressure is coming in from CLG. Can they get the kill at home? They have the flag out. They've completely ignored this player. Finally, they're going to take him down. Are they going to be able to get it out, though, is the question. They have accuracy kind of pinned back here. There's one more player from behind. He's so tagged up. He's not going to be able to get away.
Yeah, he hit that AC unit when he was actually trying to slide, and it's going to cost them because Classic's going to come in on the pinch, able to take out Perplexed. He's doing a great job using that Man of War. We talked about potential Man of War use on this map. It's a closer range map, obviously move a little faster. You still want those ARs to be able to lock it down at range. You see Slack's body just goes flying there after getting hit by a nade. But now you're going to have Rise play a little bit of base defense as you see the push starting to come in from CLG yet again.
Oh, man, felt like I was watching a Michael Bay movie. A Transformer just tossed someone.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Body just goes flying, but now we've got Octane here. He pushed under bottom broken, now into glass. You can see he's got the MR6 out. If you're not familiar with the MR6, it is a hand cannon. So powerful. Able to fire that thing really as fast as your finger will let it loose. He's able to get one from behind, a little bit out of range of the pistol, so he's going to use 2 bursts there with the M8 to lock that up. Doing a good job applying pressure, but didn't have anyone forward enough or alive enough to try and get a flag out. Everyone's been cleaned up on the CLG side of the map. And Rise, you talked about the fact that they're on the favored side to start things off. So how do you feel right now if you're CLG? You still okay? I mean, I know you got hit early, but you've kind of closed the gaps here.
I mean, you've kind of come back to earth a little bit where they're not just getting ran over. I wouldn't say they haven't closed the gap. Obviously, the score's still 1-0, but you're doing a nice job, controlling some areas of the map, but still, you haven't had a real strong attempt to get a pull. Obviously, accuracy grabs the flag before, but there's a little bit of chaos. You saw how clean the Rise pull was. Just was not the same way from CLG. It was a little bit frantic kind of going into the Rise base.
Yeah, they kind of killed them in a more staggered way. So they were spawning every few seconds, and I felt like there was one player after another trying to play defense there, and they did a great job for Rise. Whereas on the other side, Rise, when you were on the attack, you got 4 down, had nothing to deal with, and you were halfway across the map before you even had to deal with a gunfight. This is Slack now, kind of playing that position we saw Octane earlier as he was applying pressure on glass. He still has one player behind him, somehow still alive. If he would have been able to turn and pick up that one, wow.
His teammates obviously pick up 2 there right at the end in the kill feed, but he had his kinetic armor. I'm surprised, didn't use it right there. You see a Heat Wave's going to miss there out of Perplex, and Classic's able to pick it up with the Annihilator. Now just trying to hold down this brick side of the map. Zalumi picks up a kill. You expect to see him push up. You see he actually hits the Heat Wave, but falls off the map in the process. Now you're going to have Octane push up. Should be able to get a flag pull. And I wonder if Classic still actually has his Annihilator out. I think it's probably gone by now. And you're going to see the flag being run down brick side. Perplex, really the only chance to make a play here for CLG. This should be another flag cap. And you see Classic in the kill feed with the Annihilator yet again. That's 3 or 4 kills with the Annihilator on this run. See, Octane's going to pick up one there as he puts the flag in. It's going to be 2-0 Rise Nation.
Yeah, they spawned them out in Palace. They did a good job covering that overextension as a couple players tried to fly through. Rise Nation, great job locking down their second cap. I feel like they have 2 pulls and 2 scores. Really, they've been able to get forward anywhere, just doing a much better job taking advantage of their opportunities thus far in this one, Matt.
Yeah, now going into the second half, CLG going to be attacking broken side, so obviously a better chance to pull some flags, but being down 2 against a tough team like Rise is going to be even pretty difficult.
Yeah,
still.
that's the one thing you can kind of hold your head high about if you're CLG. You know, you weathered the storm here on the weaker side. You're now going to have a better opportunity to possibly get some flags through, but I think they need a score early.
Yeah.
Not maybe Rise early where they're scoring in 30 seconds, but they need to score in the first couple of minutes.
Minute 30,
yeah.
You'd like to see them get a flag on the board, and obviously then it's more doable. It's still doable at the end, but it's just going to be chaos.
All right, well, here we go. Let's watch this half a little bit more from the CLG side and see what these guys can do to get things going. Let's zoom out, take a look at the break, kind of a 2-2 split. Let's go to the action outside. Felony's going to be the first one to engage. His teammate picks up one. He's going to almost find a second there. If they could have got 3 down, that would have been a beautiful start. Methods is mid. He's got the Annihilator locked and loaded. Still a little bit of juice left in that. He can connect with one. There's one player in the back of the base. Will the timing work out in his favor? He's almost out. He's almost out, but he still connects somehow. One player to the left-hand side. Does he check it? He sees the Simtex goes in. He knows he's there, trying to connect, but Looney does a great job playing defense before he is finally closed out. Perplex now, going to have a flag out. Can he get forward? Trying to wrap outskirts, trying to get away. He's got 2 players chasing him. Slack, hot on his heels. They see him wrap around the corner, trying to get shots in. The defense is here, though. Perplex might be away. You wanted the early cap. And Octane, he gets it out.
Now he's got the HVK. Now you see Octane just uses so many different ARs. He puts a lot of shots in Perplex. Not able to take him out. Perplex should be able to get this one home. And we talked about how CLG needed an early flag score. Perplex goes big. And obviously now only 150 points away from a Lightning. Be big if he's able to get that. I think he should play for these streaks.
Yeah, well, kind of hop back and forth between mid control and also Perplexed. He's going to actually have an engagement here right on the other side of Hut here. And like you said, he's so close. He wants to be patient. He wants to wait on a kill. He's able to kill the HC. He knows someone. He's like, you have a car? I have one too, buddy. And let's see how he opts to use this. It might be picked off there by the Simtex. It's not. He saw a player in the corner. It doesn't connect. He's going to get pushed now. His teammate's there to cover him, but still nowhere. Actually, sorry, he's a little bit closer with the assist. So he's 75 now off that Lightning.
He actually picks up the points when he kills the HC. So he's only 75 away now.
I thought he tagged him up with the car maybe and got some points in, but he's getting very, very close. And they've got a nice pinch here. You have Felony on one side. He grabs one, wins 2. That's a big one. They might tie this up with a hurry. That's going to be a cap.
Perplex is going to get streaks off of that too. So he should actually be fully loaded with Lightning in Hellstorm at this moment in time as you see Felony running that flag down the left-hand side. He's 100 points away. It's actually going to be 25 away from the Hellstorm, but this is going to be a flag cap for Felony, and it's going to be all tied up here. 2 minutes and 48 seconds to go. CLG trying to make the comeback. Looney comes into the CLG base, cooks him up, but not able to finish off that second one.
If he somehow got that Simtex there like a half second later, got the kill, then Heatwave the second, that would have been one of the sickest returns I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah, he would have stopped him.
It comes up a little bit short there. The cap gets through just in time. You saw I had Perplex selected. He has those streaks. And the nice thing about that, I mean, in CTF, I think the streaks are more important than any other game type because they can really just stop or lead to a score. You see the car trying to make chase. Slack, though, does get away, and here comes the streak. They missed. Oh, no, they don't miss. He gets grabbed by the last one, but Looney's still here. He can get it out. There's still a Hellstorm, though, that can be used. Let's see. He still has it.
I don't think he used it.
He's here to play defense as well. He gets the kill. Flag should be off.
Well, now you see it's going to be a counter pull here by CLG as Methods gets a flag. It's over by Bricks. Now you see the guys spawning from Rise Nation over in Palace, and it's going to be accuracy with a scythe on the OE. He's going to win one. Classic, he's going to drop. CLG should be able to take the lead here, Maven.
Oh my God, it has the makings of a Game 5 right now. They have the one cap advantage. They're on the preferred side, and they're looking to close things out. CLG doing such a good job here in the second side against Rise. Now let's look. It's basically everybody kind of resetting here. Felony was pushing forward. He's able to get one. He's in a pretty good position now because look, he's making the entire team kind of rotate back to him. 2 players have to deal with the pressure from Felony. That means no pressure offensively really for Rise Nation.
Yeah, and I love the fact that they still have this Hellstorm as well. So if Rise pulls the flag out, you can always have that Hellstorm just hover high over the opposing players. And you're going to see Classic pulls out the Annihilator. He gets shut down right away, so it doesn't make any difference with it. If you have Methods, he's getting close to his Annihilator as well. Looney's going to try and get into the base here. He has one gunfight to his left against Methods, and he's going to have to back down. Not going to win that one versus a player with an assault rifle.
Yeah, but that's perfect. The fact he saw him back there, never mind. Okay, I thought the fact that they realized where Methods was going to be able to allow them to get a kill and possibly get a flag out, but Methods does such a good job on defense with the Man of War, and you can see I have highlighted. That's accuracy now with the flag. Methods doing a good job on defense. This is going to be the icing on the cake. They should have another flag through. Methods waiting for the overextension, but there's nobody there. They're coming too late, and that's another cap through. 4 on the second side for CLG.
And CLG just took over on the second side. Obviously, when attacking Broken, you're on the more preferred side, the pros like to say. You know, it's a little bit easier to get the flags out, and you see CLG just blows the game open in the second half. You see the Hellstorm missile coming in, taking out a teammate, doesn't do anything. We haven't seen Methods do anything with the Annihilator. I mean, he's watching the overextension.
He's going to get one. I got a feeling. There it is.
There you go. And he's going to have streaks as well. But obviously, 6 seconds left. Nothing Rise Nation could do regardless. It's going to be CLG winning CTF Breach 4-2, forcing a Game 5. So, you know, we asked you at the beginning of the show, make a bold prediction for today's matches. Would you expected CLG Rise to go to a Game 5?
No, because that's actually the one thing that you can, the one constant in the league is that Rise Nation can beat the teams they're supposed to. They lose to the teams that are currently above them.
I don't think they lose to like the lower.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying they never do. Like that's been the constant. Is Rise, if they're playing CLG, TSM, LA, whoever it is,
they bash them.
They beat them. They just lose to your optics. They maybe lose to your phases, but they do not usually lose to teams lower in the standings. This would be one hell of an upset because Rise is, in my opinion, without question, a top 2 or 3 team right now. So this would be a big win for CLG, coming off a loss yesterday.
Out of the teams at the bottom, like of the standings, like CLG is one of the stronger rosters of those teams. Like you would say, like Luminosity, like Saints and John, those 2 guys are really good. And then I think H2K is a fantastic roster. I think CLG, you know, with Accuracy, I think Accuracy is a very good AR player. Same with BL Fire. I thought he was good as well. But I think Accuracy just plays at a faster pace that probably suits this team a little bit better.
I think if this was Black Ops 2, BL Fire fits right in. And I love him as a player, but you sometimes get punished in this game for playing slower. I mean, if you play slow and you get full streaks, that's one thing. But if you're not getting streaks and you're not applying pressure, a lot of times, you know, being that iron foot, just it doesn't help you. You need to play fast. This is not Black Ops 2. This is Black Ops 3, and the gameplay much quicker. Let's take a look now at the after action report. What stands out for you, man? CLG's second half so big.
I mean, just Perplex, 3 defends. I know 3 returns, 1 cap. I mean, he goes positive with an SMG. You have Methods doing a nice job with the Man of War. Now on the side of Rise, I mean, nobody really in the kills department showed up outside of Classic.
Yeah, really. Classic, the only one. And that's been kind of the thing. The other constant with Rise Nation, you know, usually they're very consistent, right? When they're winning, when they're doing well, all 4 guys getting involved, that a little bit more of a lopsided effort, and it leads to a loss there. So we'll take a look at the highlights here. It was all Rise Nation early. They scored in the opening minute, but when we get to the second side, that's when CLG gets control and they really erupt. So that's one thing to watch. You know, if you've been a long time or you're a new fan, that's something you got to think about sometimes. You know, you're a fan of a team, you're watching, they're losing by a couple flag caps. So sometimes when you switch over to that stronger position, you can really kick things into high gear. And you love to have a team that was resilient like CLG. They got down, but were never out of it.
Yeah, I would never like look at like when you're on a map like Breach, right, and your team, you know, loses on you know, that first side, and they're only down by like 1 flag, and they go into a side where they're attacking towards like Broken. I think you take that kind of scoreline any day of the week. It's almost like Stronghold, right? If you can hold it's like a 0-0, and then you're attacking Mansion, like you think your team has a great chance to win that map.
Well, yeah, and we had that's existed in basically every single Call of Duty of all time. I mean, not really in hardpoint just because of the cycles. I mean, typically that first hardpoint's in a central area, so you don't really have kind of a lopsided start or finish. But when you're talking about something like CTF or Uplink, there's almost always a preferred side. That's just the way it works. One side has an easier 1-point toss, or it's easier to spawn teams out. And you saw there, I mean, CLG, you might think they're out of it. Clearly they were not. 4 uncontested caps. Great stuff.
So the last map tonight's going to be Fringe Search and Destroy.
I love me some Fringe.
Love Fringe. I think this is one where Octane has another chance to make an impact with the sniper rifle, though.
Oh, for sure.
I think we see
it's probably going to get banned. Do they? Okay.
It's going to get banned. I think.
But one thing to mention though that's big here, if you didn't follow the patch notes yesterday, one of the big changes was now instead of it starting on ban, so you had an advantage to get to that quicker, there's a neutral section. So you can actually get to protect and ban just as quickly, but they're going to get there faster. The SVG taken out, Octane not going to be able to make an impact with that sniper rifle. That's a brilliant and a must-needed first ban here for the side of CLG.
You're going to have Rise Nation get rid of the Shiva. Wonder if Overkill goes during this one as well, because we saw Octane use the Locust. He puts it away. You're going to actually see the Locust go as well. So CLG getting rid of both sniper rifles early. I don't think Octane is going to be a player who's going to use something like the PO6. We see the PO6 used sometimes, but getting the Locust in the SVG out is huge on the side of CLG.
Yeah, it certainly is, and you'll see the second side of those tacticals and attachments coming out as well, Matt. So yeah, the sniper not going to be the player. If this was Elevate and they weren't scared to pull out a couple PO6s, I wouldn't be too worried about it. But I don't know if we'll really see that out of Octane. I think this is going to be an AR heavy map for sure on both sides, and I think that favors CLG.
I don't know if it favors CLG, but I think the ban and protect process definitely CLG made more of an impact than Rise.
Yeah. Yes. I think that stage favored them as far as who's going to win the game. And just take a look at the standings. I mean, I would take Rise Nation in any matchup right now. But you've gotten to a Game 5, and this is where, your CLGs, DTs, TKs, those teams
this is where
at the bottom.
Crumbled.
Exactly. Yeah. When you take a look at like a team like Complexity, if they hadn't been so strong in their Game 5s, they would be in last place.
Yeah.
They'd have 6 more losses. They've won 6 Game 5s. CLG has to muster the strength here to win a Game 5 to try to stay alive.
The difference between the two teams in the specialist draft is going to be Vision Pulse versus Overdrive. We saw Methods do really nice things with Overdrive in the Game 2 Search and Destroy. I expect him to do pretty good things in this one, but I think Vision Pulse is one that we have not seen in this series used great yet. I think obviously Octane has potential to make a big play with Vision Pulse during this one.
Well, we'll have to keep an eye on those two. I always like to see when you have something different, because we get mirror matches so frequently. When you have a switch, who's going to get the better of the two? Who's going to make more of an impact with that ability or that weapon? So we'll keep an eye on the Overdrive of Methods and the Vision Pulse of Octane throughout this one. Just waiting on the guys right now to set up their classes before we hop into Game 5. But week 8, day 2, first game is going to go into Game 5. I'm pumped. I love me some Game 5s.
It's a good way to start it off. Well, right? We have some great matches tonight. We could have a lot of Game 5s.
Optic Envy could be Game 5. Luminosity, Elevate could be Game 5. I'm calling it right now. We're casting 20 maps tonight.
20. This would be 5.
We're going all Game 5s.
Nah, I don't think
we're going all Game 5s, baby.
Luminosity versus Elevate has a chance to not be a Game 5.
Well, I mean, honestly, Optic can 3-0 anybody, so it could be. I'm just going off the fact that Optic Envy was 5-game series last time, but remember, they were playing with Aix. They have Havoc on the roster now. I'm not sure. I really liked Havoc last night. I thought he played brilliantly, but still, he wasn't playing Optic Gaming. They're playing TSM, and I love the TSM squad, but it's not Optic.
A lot of pressure, obviously, if he's going to be filling in tonight going up against Optic Gaming. Obviously, when you play against Optic Gaming, most eyes are on you. It's going to be very difficult for him to fill in. I think Havoc's a fantastic player, though. I think he definitely brings a lot to Envy if they move forward with him. Very good with the aggressive SMG. But maps loading up now. It's going to be Fringe Search and Destroy, our final map in the series. CLG versus Rise Nation, all tied up at 2 apiece. I think you're going to see a lot of action over at the B bomb site on this map. That's the one where most teams are going to put the pressure on.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. You see most of your pushes, and that's kind of true for most S&D maps. There's typically a favored bomb site. You feel you have the biggest advantage. You're going to hit that time and time again. I'm sure we'll see some action on A as a couple kills come in and things sort of fall apart. But B hit after B hit is what I expect to see early on. Rise Nation going to be on offense here off the rip, and it looks like it is going to be an M8. For Octane, obviously, as the snipers got banned, and they're going to go A early. So with this catching one off guard, I don't think it will. As aggression comes in fast, they're playing really, really quick here. Felony gets far forward, but they're able to back him up. No one drops for either side. That's the one positive you can take, but pushing through middle, it was wide open. Classic's already got him, but from behind, his teammate picks up one. He's going to check box, able to find one here as well, and they've got a 3-on-2 advantage early.
Fantastic positioning by Classic, and I love the fact that he just doesn't jump around and challenge that guy at the box. Plays it where he has that advantage. He's going to get behind the bomb site, able to take out accuracy. It's going to be Perplex, the last one alive here in a 1v3. Classic, 2 big kills during this round.
All right, well, he's going to make it a 1v2, so that's a big kill very early on in the clock. He's able to find one, but he's got a lot of work to do. And that,
Look at this angle
Both
from
come in.
look at this angle from Looney.
Oh my God, the throws. So sick. Look at, they were both from him.
Yeah.
Come across there. Brilliant stuff there. Wiped off the map. Looney picks up the final kill. So much for an attempted clutch. Sorry, you're missing your legs.
Nice nade spots right there out of Looney.
Yeah,
and he's able to just kind of get on that wall run and just keep jumping and watching if that player is going to be pushing through auto. So really nice angle there by Looney. Expect to see a lot of players using that. So we get closer to the Stage 1 finals. It's going to be CLG on offense. Going to be hitting this B site pretty hard.
Yep, the first one out front is going to be your bomb carrier. That's Felony. You don't have to worry so much. It's not as scary to hit that fast because you don't have to worry about a sniper at the back rock. You're not going to typically get one bursted soaring through the air like that with an M8 or any kind of rifle. So he gets in, but he had bomb. So bomb is actually going to be dropped now at top bar, and you cannot lose bomb there.
No, not the best spot to bring it and then challenge another gunfight. At that point in time, he has all the time in the world to get the bomb down over at B. Could have had accuracy, look over in barn, but now Classic in another position to make a play here as players lining up in tracks. Looney is actually going to get cut down.
He was kind of trying
Perplex,
to flank, I think, maybe try to get into Grandma's and disrupt, but unfortunately for him, there was a player waiting all the way back at Truck and Globe, and they were able to pick that up. So wrapping all the way around now, it's a 2-on-2, but bomb just in an awful, awful position.
Well, I don't know if Rise knows they have bomb down because Classic actually looked like he was pushing up the street, and you obviously would not push up the street if you knew the bomb was down directly behind you. Yeah, Rise has absolutely no idea bomb's down in barn. Now, it's going to be CLG rotating all the way back to get it, just making a circle around the map. They're going to pick it up now. Now, Perplex going to try and get it down.
I wouldn't have thought I had bombed down either. I never would have expected that person to fly in and drop it in top bar.
Why would he be up in top bar? And you're going to see Slack jump out, pick up one kill as soon as the bomb goes down. He's going to try and wait for Classic before they start pushing Methods. I don't think they actually saw Methods around the corner. Methods all the way in this back rock. No, 1v2. He's going to have one player directly in front of him. Going to win that gunfight, but quickly traded out there by Classic. Picks up 3 kills. It's going to be able to win the round. Actually, he gets one during this round.
Yeah, well, he has the 3 streak, which is important, and now he's going to at least get that 8C, and he's going to be close to working on that dart. Yep, needs 2 more kills potentially, but that was an odd round just because, yeah, you didn't expect the bomb carrier to be the guy soaring into barn, so everything kind of fell apart. Players trying to
started out great for CLG. And they get first blood, they get into barn, they get control of B. You have, accuracy set up, watching back rock.
Like,
you have a guy up in top barn.
If you get the first blood at B, I mean, either push through or just get the bomb down. Just get the plant if you can.
They just played a little bit too over-aggressive there, I thought.
All right, well, let's get back to offense here. For Rise Nation, I'm going to stick with Classic for now because he's 3-0. He's going to be setting up at White Truck, and we'll see where he opts to play. It looks like the pressure, they want to go towards A. He gets a couple shots, but manages to stay alive, which is the important part here.
Seems like they haven't really decided which bomb site to go towards. You see Octane picking up first kill there on Perplex. You're going to see Classic bringing the HC into the A site.
Yeah, that should be compliant to bomb time, which is you did see Looney rotate over. So he saw the car, got the information. It's such a good scouting tool, but that's going to be bombed down. They're able to pick up one, but the kill does get traded out. So it's going to be a 2v3 for CLG here. A man down. And let's see how they opt to play this one out. Octane, I think, tagged one up back alley. Let's switch over to the bomb site.
Now, Classic's going to be able to get this down, it seems, as Felony's going to be backed off the bomb site. And that's actually going to be Slack coming from Smolder, able to pick up one. You see accuracy, he's all tagged up back alley. Classic's able to finish that one off. It's going to be Rise starting up 3-0, and we got to get on with Classic. I think he's going to get his dart from that.
Yeah, we'll check it out. He's got to be darn close. And
he was 200, and then he gets the plant and
the kill, so he should definitely have a dart. So we'll see how he uses it. If I remember right, Classic, one of the better flyers, we saw him pick up some crazy kills on Infection, right? I think that was him against Complexity.
When he hit Parasite. Yeah.
Parasite, he ripped him in half. Well, I doubt he opts to use it now, but I still want to stay with him because he's so close to the Lightning as well. So,
do you not just use it and pick up the Lightning?
Well, let's see. He might opt to. We should be able to tell kind of by how he plays. Yep, he's going to be using it. The fact he ran back like he was going to wait and spawn and use it, and now maybe he's changed his mind.
Well, I guess you're playing pretty well. You're 4-0, obviously. You've been shooting pretty well, kind of getting all the reads to go in your favor here. It's not the worst thing in the world not to use it. And I mean, when you shoot like that, there's no reason to call
That's
him
not
to
an
get the
easy
lightning.
gunfight.
No.
He's got camo as well. Pop the camo. You're feeling cocky. Pop it. Go in there with the RK5. He's going to opt to be much smarter than I am.
Sometimes in Search and Destroy, you just start to get on a rhythm, and your timings are just perfect. And right now, Classic's definitely on one of those.
He certainly is. I just want to see if he opts to use any of these, but I'm going to rotate over to the offense now because they've got to get bombed down with 35 seconds left here, and they know right where they are. Look at the map. So everything's basically been discovered. All the information lies in the hands of your green team, Rise Nation. They know they've got them panned. He's going to get out. He is going to be able to find one. They weren't watching the push out through bricks, but it will be traded out. 4-0 Rise, showing why they're one of the best teams in the game, is they're looking to just sweep them out of this game 5.
This isn't close.
No, it's not.
This one's not close
This has
at
been
all.
painful to watch for CLG.
Yeah. See Classic picking up the final kill here. Perplexed does a nice job jumping out the window, picking up that one player. Obviously, it was Looney the last time, jumping on that wall run. He was able to pick up some kills with the Semtexes, but then he's just not able to get back into bricks.
Yeah, you felt bad. It was like it was cat and mouse, and the cat had them the mouse stuck. Only one way to exit, and as soon as he came out, they just pounced on him. There's nothing he could do. It was, I don't know, nothing you could do whatsoever when so much information was given to Rise Nation that round. And you still have Classic, who has a dart. He has his lightning. They have the round advantage. Let's switch over to the push here on B, though, see if Octane can get anything done. I want to keep Classic highlighted, just see if he opts to use the dart, but he's actually going to be dealing with pressure from 10. He still has his camo. He's going to find another one. Just challenge me, please. Okay, well, I guess the challenge went in his favor.
Yeah, Method's challenge just doesn't win it. But hey, if you're Classic, you probably thought there was a chance. And Accuracy picks up 2 kills there. Puts CLG on the board.
Accuracy, the new guy.
Still not very close.
Hiding in the grass here, like a jungle cat. Yeah,
what does a jungle cat look like?
Why do I have so many cat references right now?
Yeah.
That's my last cat reference, I swear. I don't know. I don't even have a cat. I don't like cats. I think I was allergic to cats.
I'm
as a
highly
kid.
allergic to cats.
Yeah, no, you actually are.
That's
why I wanted to get a pet cat and then invite you over.
Yeah, that would actually result in probable death.
Oh no, I wouldn't want you. Not that. Just like your throat swollen, your eyes like crying.
It'd be awful. You see Felony there just jumps up, gives Slacked a very easy shot to hit as Methods actually pops his overdrive and gets into bar and picks up 1. But you see Octane doing a nice job back there, putting down some shots. He's dead now, but did a nice job taking out, I believe it was Felony there early.
Okay, well, the pressure's going to come in. All of a sudden, it's Perplexed by himself. 1 versus 3. Bomb down on the B side. He's got to connect. He has to get that kill. And that's not an easy kill at that range with the player flying across the top, but you still need to get that to give yourself a chance. You have enough time, but you're tagged up. You can't shake him loose in slack. Going to take you out from behind with the M8. 1 round away is Rise Nation here from taking the game 5. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, the next series, a crazy one as well. Optic Gaming going up against Team Envious as soon as we finish this series.
And Rise still has all the streaks to work with. Well, when I say all, they still have the dart and the lightning strike. So you expect them to be able to put it away this one. They have camo. Let's see what other abilities they have. I'll cycle through them. They got camo, they have kinetic, and yep, that's it. So camo, kinetic. You expect them to be able to close this one out.
Well, I want to see. I mean, is he going to use the lightning or dart? I mean, he doesn't even need to. They have such an advantage right now. Octane.
Well, you might as well ping the lightning.
I'll try and keep... Okay, so here we go. Going to be using the dart. There should be a gunfight in 10. One player. They look like they're right next to each other. I'm highlighting Octane. He should be able to see someone, and Octane is going to be able to pick that up. And now, how does he opt to fly this? Slowing it down. There's a couple players inside of A. Everyone's so scared to try and deal with this. Well, if you missed the map fly through earlier, you're getting a second one out. This guy's about to get a dart in the back of the neck. There he goes!
It in the mouth!
Oh! How does metal taste?
Awful, as you see Perplexed blows up. Accuracy, the last one alive here for CLG. The new guy needs to go massive. He picks up 1. There's another player approaching him up top, I believe. Slack that kinetic at that moment in time. Not going to win that gunfight. It's Rise Nation taking this final map 6-1.
Every time I have watched Classic the last 3 times with the dart, he has bodied somebody.
Yeah.
Like not shooting the homing missiles, just
drives it right
someone.
just drives it right into him.
Ugh, that looked painful. He needed braces after that one. Catches right in the mouth. But great game from Rise Nation. Game 5, able to lock it down. It was a closer series than we expected, but the result we expected. And that's another Game 5 loss for CLG. I don't know where we're at now.
It's tough for CLG I mean, after yesterday's match, they had some difficulties against TK.
Yeah.
And then today's match, able to take a very good rise into a Game 5, just falls short yet again.
And, it's painful because you see the flashes of brilliance from CLG.
Yep.
You see the fact that they can hang with top teams from time to time, but they just haven't been able to close it out. I don't know if that's an inability to deal with the big pressure moments, or if they just don't have enough on the roster to beat the top teams. I don't know what it is exactly, but they're falling a bit short right now, and they're at risk, certainly, of having to enter relegation and battle their way back to stage 2.
An 0-2 week.
Yeah, when you can't afford 0-2 week.
When you cannot afford 0-2 weeks by any stretch of the imagination. We can take a look at the scoreboard here. It was really classic. The one who dominated the game goes 8-1. We saw the use of the dart there at the end. Just fantastic timings, fantastic shots. That M8 shot with that guy behind the white truck, that was sick. And yet, Slacked actually had a very good game as well. Goes 8-3.
Yeah, both of them having big games, able to propel Rise Nation into a victory. We'll take a look at the highlights here real quick. I mean, it was a 6-1. Not much to talk about other than a dominating effort from Rise Nation.
This round was weird. When Felony gets up top barn, picks up that 1 kill, and then just kind of sits there with the bomb. You'd like to see him just jump down, maybe switch spots with somebody, but right there when Classic has to pick up that kill, pick up his streaks, he just dominates here. You see it just right to the mouth of Perplex with the dart. And yeah, Slacked with the camo, jumps up into that top window, able to pick up that final kill. Pretty easy one.
All right, well, game 1 of 4 is in the books. Coming up next, Optic Gaming going up against Envy. Last time they played, went down to a crazy game 5. Will we have that same result? Quick break. We'll be right back.